learn English pronunciation with no native speaker. I am no native speaker. Learn with me, not from me. On the internet there is a lot of teachers, lot of teachers, native teachers from Australia, New Zealand, United States, United Kingdom, and I choose. I have been choosing for years A.J.Hoge. Why? I think now, after 4,000 hours of listening A.J.Hoge, I now know some reason. Reason was that at the beginning I understand him, and I understand him better than any others. But after searching, I find him at first, and after him I look at one more, two, and go back and listening him. He, in his speech, A.J.Hoge have one excellent method of speech. Has big pause. He stop, pause, long time pause, and continue teach. And that pause make him authentic, make him different than others. Because he's not different from others, what I understand him. And at first, I understand and other not like him. But that pause was something what remained me to listen second video, listen more, and that listen, I see that is very excellent for my ears. There is no two men with the same ears, with same graphicon for ears, his ears. There is no two men in the world with same resonance of his organs for speech, with his frequency response, bandwidth of his voice. And if it is like that, and it is, every man must find compatible voice for his ears. And I find A.J. Hoge. Because when we listen somebody, we must understand. We must understand every words. We must understand. We must hear beginning and end of every words, and all between that. Beginning, ending and words, and all between that, accent, rhythm. If we don't hear that transit between two words, we cannot speak that words. Speech for us must be clear. It means clear. Every word must be clear, and after that, listen and listen, same content. And after that, other content, but listen and listen more and better. And that word embedded in our brain and we start pronounce that words. Pronounce that words. It is cyclus. Listening go ahead, and with some delay, beginning our pronounce. It is about A.J.Hoge and why I choose A.J.Hoge. Because of that pause between sentence, and sometimes pause is very, very important. I don't know that is important like that. Pause, little more than usual. It is not pause only for take, breathe, but it is plain. You must have plain for a pause. You pause between, and a listener have times to understand all what he hear, and after that be prepared for other sentence, other paragraph of speech to understand. Because English people speak much faster than we in Croatia, much faster, and like that they talk, they condense and connect a lot of words, connect in one breath, in one breath, with one air. They spoke more words and faster, and without a good resonance and compatibility between voice and ear, it is very difficult to understand every word in that continuous. And because of that, pause is very important. Very important that pause, that listener's brain have time understand what he was just, what he have just heard. Second, what I want to say here about my Professor A.J.Hoge, it is his rule, trash grammar in the garbage. Don't open grammar book. Don't look at grammar, because all your schooling, classical schooling, traditional schooling times, looking in grammars. And after that, all that years, you don't know speak. You don't speak fluently, confidently. And because of that, you don't need grammar. But his method is to listening story. He spoke story in past, present, same story, talk in past. It is a simple past, always. And same story spoke in present, and same story spoke in future. And if we listen a lot of time, same story in that times, we will know, we will practice, we will have experience. Our brain will alone, without our conscious, received that acquisition means too long time, on the long time, acquisite, that contains on the long time. And it is right, but some other teachers, no native, is very good see, excellent so, that it is not true. Because A.J.Hoge speak about child, how learning child. Vladimir Skenderov, said adult people know right, and why not use that tools when they know read, and they know write, they know read. Why don't use that tools and look at grammar? And childs don't know read, and because of that, childs and learn English without reading, only listening. But adult must learn grammar, and Vladimir Skenderov is right. But both of them don't say that real reason that we don't know spoke after years and years traditional learning is because we don't listen. We don't listen. Some people, I don't listen in my youngest day because television is beginning with me when I was 15. And I don't listen a lot of movie in English when I was child. But today I have a lot of material on the YouTube, and I can listen a lot of time. And I listen A.J.Hoge and others, and it is reason, not reason grammar. Grammar, never mind, grammar is best. Vladimir Skenderov is right when said, grammar, we must learn grammar because we know read. And there is a contradiction in A.J.Hoge also, because he spoke that we need read, that people who read books better write, and it is reading and writing, it is also activity during learning, and we cannot read and we cannot write without grammar. And it is adult in classroom, it is not for critic what we learn grammar and learning like we learn, but critic is that my professor don't say me what A.J.Hoge said me, that is listen, listen and listen. You must more and more listen, and after that you can spoke, you can talk. Talk is the lie behind listening. You must listening, listening and listening. Nobody said that because we have not tools, we cannot cassettophone, we cannot, when was child, when I beginning learn French when I was 4th grade in basic elementary school, I have not cassettophone, I have not magnetophone, I have nothing for listening, and only classroom. And but today it is excellent what I hear from A.J.Hoge, that listening, listening and listening. We must a lot of listening. Listening go ahead. And today, if you learn in school like you learn, you must at home listening. But today it is no problem because internet all around us. There is a lot of on TV. We have thousands channels, a lot of in English. On YouTube we have all movie in English. We have a lot of content, TED speech, etc. And today is no problem listening, listening and listening at home and in time reserved for that. Listening in the gym, during the gym experience, working and listening. It is today, learn English language is something very, very enjoyable, very, very excited because of lot of content in a native language. Again, I choose A.J.Hoge because he made pause between sentence, between paragraph, long pause, and my brain, there is a time to understand what he was saying, talking, and grammar. Traditional learning in school, not problem, not wrong, and there is no need for change because it is 1, 2, 4 hours in the week. It is nothing. We can learn grammar that way, but listening, we must at home, traveling, during travel, home, school, back, excursion, and via mobile, by internet, we must listening, a lot of time listening, and not listening without concept. We must listening, we must with eyes translate what we listening, and after that listening without title, without subtitle, because we must understand that it is not problem because all there is a transcript, and when we understand, after that we listening, and not listening one times, but same sentence, same paragraph, same story, listening a lot of times, 10, 20 times a day, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, same story. It is very important that brain received same word, same sentence, lot of time, because child also lot of times in his life, and native speaker, we are all native speaker in our mother language, we are listening our mother language all our life, and same sentence, same word, we listening million, billion times in our lives. And same situation we must have in learning strange language. Give options, give possibility, give experience that our brain listening same words a lot of time, that we can after that with delay use that word like active our talking in our talking, like active words, because there is a lot of passive words what we understand when we see, but we don't use in active speech because it is not in our mind like that. We don't listen that words enough times.